welcome to this week's Weekly Mini, your bite-sized workshop on the hottest acro topics. You can reference all of our previous weekly minis and more amazing content on our Acrobatic Arts channel on YouTube. If you have any questions while we're live or afterwards, drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer those for you at the end or in follow-up. If you know someone who should hear about today's topic, please be a friend and click the share button on this post right now and let them know we're here. Today, we're pleased to present a pre-recorded weekly mini. I'm live with you here now, but our presentation is pre-recorded. It is in respect to a 17-hour time difference and our goal to bring you the very best, and we're so grateful to have an amazing team around the globe. Speaking of which, we are pleased to bring you Master Teacher Jemma Harris to talk about cardio warm-up for acro. Jemma started dancing at the age of 3 and would go on to successfully complete her dance training in all genres with recognition, distinction, and awards. She was offered her first contract only 2 weeks after turning 18, taking her on to travel the world working for Royal Caribbean. Upon returning, Jemma delved further into her passion for teaching and choreography, gaining her comm dance, theatrical, tap, and new modern jazz teacher's diplomas, as well as her acrobatic arts M1 and M2, aerial arts hoop, Alexa M1 and M2, and PBT. Jemma is grateful to now be a part of the acrobatic arts team and as a course conductor and examiner for acrobatic arts and aerial arts. She is honored to be able to share her knowledge and the thoughtful progressions and techniques of acro arts and aerial arts to create well-rounded and technically strong dancers, and we are super grateful to have her here with us today. She will be joining us from her home studio on the Sunshine Coast of Australia at Beats Per Minute Performing Arts. And let me cue this up. It is amazing, teachers, lots of great things here. I'll let Jemma speak for herself. Let's get this queued up here.
Hi, Carolyn, and thank you. I am so excited to be presenting this topic today. As everyone who has certified in Module 1 with Acrobatic Arts knows, cardio builds stamina and warms up the body, two extremely important elements when jumping into an acro class. A cardio warm-up can also be used to introduce terminology, enforce muscle memory, and set the tone of the lesson. Today, I'm going to take you through a number of cardio warm-ups I use in my classes for juniors, intermediates, and seniors. Depending on the length of your lesson and what your goals are for your lesson, your cardio warm-up can be extremely simple or it can involve a few elements. One of my absolute go-to favorites is Acrobatic Arts Cardio Time. You can find this on all streaming platforms with multiple versions and lengths on YouTube. This is a warm-up you can use for any level and without any equipment. For my juniors, I like to keep a consistent class structure. Younger students like routine. They like to know what is happening and when it's happening. Staying consistent helps the teacher to establish expectations and the student to achieve goals and understand these expectations. It also provides a safe space for new students and allows students to transition into class without hesitation. Starting with game-based cardio options helps to provide a fun environment, but I do always encourage a quieter classroom to begin. Following a cardio time, I like to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes in a plank and hollow position. So dancers, if you'd like to come out. There are so many versions of this song, and I will warn you, some are faster than others. But this is essentially shoulder touches in a fun way. When we get to the eyes and ears part, the students roll over into a hollow. If they're feeling up to it, they can even add a V-snap. So my demonstrators are going to show you one round of this with some music.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Thank you, dancers. As you would know, the song gets faster and faster, and the students find it hilarious. After this, I like to go into introducing more terminology. Once my students know their rock and rolls, which are a normal rock and roll, and then a rock and roll from standing to candle, and then a rock and roll starting with a tuck jump. So tuck jump and rock and roll, and then a backwards roll preparation, and a straddle roll preparation, I then like to give these silly names and turn it into what I call an egg game. So the first one is our egg, and they want to do this without cracking on the mat. So they're going to stay in a really tight tuck. So our rock and roll is our egg. Then I have what we call eggs with legs. So they do their standing to candle. And then we do our bacon and eggs, which is where the bacon goes pop. And then they do their rock and roll. Following this, we have our eggs on toast, which is where they hold their hands by the ears, like they're holding their 2 pieces of toast, and they go into their backwards roll preparation. And finally, we have our scrambled eggs, which is our straddle rock and roll, and our preparation for our consecutive straddle rolls. So they go from their straddle position, they rock high onto the shoulders with the legs coming over the head, and then they push up and look through. So then I would turn this into a game. So I would pull out different egg names. So let's give this a go now. So can I please see 2 eggs? And now can I see a bacon and eggs? And now it's time for eggs with legs. And now it's a scrambled eggs. Go, 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 scrambled eggs. And now it's our eggs on toast. Thank you, dancers. So moving into our intermediates, this is where you can start to get even more creative. Team activities help to build trust, encourage communication, and increase collaboration, which is so important in this age group and a great skill to have when you start partnering. All you need for this one is a couple of bean bags. You want to place the bean bags at the end of the room, have the students make even groups. The first student is then going to bear crawl to the bean bag and then come back with it on their stomach in a tabletop. Once they have returned, the next person goes until all the bean bags have been returned to the other side of the room. When they're finished, encourage them to do star jumps while they're waiting. I also really love using circuits for this age group. This enables you to gear the warm-up towards what you're working on in class. For example, a cardio warm-up for limbering could be a tabletop or bridge walking down the first track, handstands or handstand walking down the middle of the track, inside-out tabletops or bridges in the middle track, bear crawls in between, and finally, a limbering skill at level. To prepare for the bridges, I also like to have pass the blocks in a kneeling half bridge and a sit-up at the waiting areas. My demos will give you an example of this exercise now. So I like to use about 4 blocks. You can use more, you can use less, depending on what you have. And they're going to start with a kneeling half bridge. So Hallie's going to pass the block over to Leonie through a kneeling half bridge. And then when all the blocks get to the other side, we've got 4 blocks today, 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. Then they're going to roll over and pass the blocks back through a sit-up. So this time Leonie's passing the blocks over to Hallie, and they're going through a sit-up. Thank you, dancers. Finally, we have our senior age group. There are lots of great options for this age group, and they are always up for a challenge. A great way to start is a movement-based cardio to music. I like using sumo squats and lunges with a knee lift, and then alternatively with a needle. So this time they'll go to needle. And then you would repeat this now with a jump. So up to a knee lift with a jump, and then down to a needle with a jump. And as you can see, both of those exercises are preparing us towards our tumbling, like our aerials. Then I would add this to music. I would also add burpees. So today I'll only have them do a couple of burpees and then jumping the feet in and out in a plank, as well as shoulder touches and shrugs. So we'll see this with some music now. Ready, here we go. And squat, lunge, lift, and the other side. Squat, lunge, lift. Now let's add the needle. Squat, lunge, needle. And squat, lunge, needle. Add the jump to the knee lift. Squat, lunge, knee lift, and jump. And squat, lunge, knee lift, and jump. And add the jump to the needle. Needle and jump. Nice work. Okay, now we're going into our burpees. 2 burpees, up and out, and up and out, and feet out, in, out, in, out, in. Ready for shoulder touch. 1, and So that was just a very quick cardio warm up with some music, but of course you could add on to that or do more repetitions. A game option for this level is the plank game. So for this one, you're going to start with all students in a plank. They're then going to lower through a push-up and roll back to plank. The end person then does high knees over the other students all the way to the end to join back in plank. If you do this in 2 teams, you can make it a fun team challenge. So off you go, dancers. And go, 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 go. And the next person, ready, roll. And off you go, 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 go. And all the way to the end. Thank you, dancers. Another game that I really love is the handstand game in a circle. This is where every student finds a partner. One partner will do the handstand and the other partner holds and runs. All students would start in a circle, and when the leader says go, the holding person has to run around to grab the next person before they come down. If they do come down, that team is out, but there is no chance to close the circle as the center students are in a handstand. So as you can imagine, as people start dropping out, if you start with a really big circle, the space in between where they have to run is going to get bigger, and the amount of time they have to hold the handstand for is going to get longer. So we're going to see this one. I only have 4 demos today, but they will do their best. So inside students, go up into your handstand for me. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. That's it, you got them. And again, 3, 2, 1, and go. Thank you, dancers. So as you can imagine, that's a really fun one, and they absolutely love this one. They use lots of cheering and really encourage this because it's helping them to breathe. So thank you so much for having me today. I hope I've given you some exciting new inspiration for your cardio warm-ups.
Oh, Jemma, those are the gift that keeps on giving. We get lots of requests for games and the interactive activities that build their cardio and their strength, and as you said, progress into the skills and drills that they're working on in their class. I love that there's smiles and there's fun, and you also talked about something which is really fundamental, and I know it's important at your studio. It's just that team building aspect that comes in early on, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many great tips and ideas for people that they can build on from every level, and progress from and to. So thank you so, so much for that. Is there anything that you missed saying that you wanted to add or that we should know?
That was everything. Just make sure you do your cardio. It's very important.
Brilliant. Let's leave it at that. Thank you so much. Before we go, though, I will tell people that they should know that coming up in January, if you don't already know, if you're interested in obviously benefiting from the expertise of master trainers and skilled professionals like Jemma with the goal of enhancing teacher results, you can visit acrobaticarts.com. But also there are upcoming opportunities in Australia with the Australia tour coming up for the acrobatic arts this January. So check acrobaticarts.com for upcoming in-person opportunities like our module 1, our module 2, and our aerial and back handspring workshop. It's a great opportunity to work in person with our amazing team of instructors like Jemma, as well as we have our Accelerate Mini Acro Convention coming up in January in Maroochydore. Jemma will be there, and I know that it's really going to be a great opportunity for dancers who can travel to that area or who are in that area. So I will put all of these links in the comments for people. Thank you again so much, Jemma. And thank you for Hallie, Leonie, Bronte, and Kiana. As always, amazing demonstrators. Thank you so much, teachers, for joining us for this weekly mini. Join us again next week. See you then. Bye.